Do you hate me? You possibly do, but why? I believe no matter what happens in the world of politics, at the end of the day, we're all in this together regardless of our political leanings. At the end of the day, it's all of us against the rich. But who are the so-called rich, and why do they have so much say about how our government runs? Our government seems to be bought and paid for by these oligarchs, and it seems we have this concern in common. But is it a democracy or an oligarchy? Unfortunately, the oligarchs have been able to get their way to the point where honestly, it just makes us all look like a bunch of chumps. Are we really going to take this? The list of offenses by these tyrants is too long to list and amounts to really abuse. Do you like being abused by them? I think we deserve better. To my liberal friends out there, you are my family, my friends, my coworkers, and neighbors. Unfortunately, our relationships have taken a toll because of politics, and that's just not acceptable. I hear you talk about protecting people from hate, but let me tell you this. The people feeling the most hate right now in our society is us. Those of us that voted for Trump, and those of us who support the long overdue change we need to make the government work for all of us and not the rich. Half the population, the previous president, the Democratic establishment, in addition to most of the mainstream media, has waged war against us. And that's not right. Some of the nasty, condescending rhetoric you've used to describe us is very offensive, to say the least. You've offended people of all ethnic backgrounds, sexual orientations, races, and genders. We are sick and tired of being unfairly vilified in a way that I thought could only happen in other countries, never in the United States. But here we are, and it's just not cool. The stones of hatred you throw at us seem to be based on lies you're being told about us in the mainstream media. At this point, after so many obvious one-sided deceptions that you would have caught on by now, it's the divide and conquer strategy, using propaganda that the oligarchs have a long history of using to play us against each other, so they can get what they want. It seems that the fear-mongering has grown into what some are calling Trump derangement syndrome, which has been brought on by the constant drumbeat of fear-mongering coming from the mainstream media. He's Hitler, they're racists, they're Nazis, they hate brown people. It's honestly just ridiculous. Or maybe it's a hangover from realizing how wrong you were about COVID and the jab. That had to make a serious blow to your ego, realizing that the dumb Trumpers who don't believe in science got it more right than you did. It was sad to see the media sick liberals against us for not believing it wasn't legit. And it wasn't, and the evidence is in. I don't expect an apology from you for all that gaslighting, but I hope you'll consider it. It would go a long way to healing the nation's internal wounds, but I digress. The point I'm trying to make here is that we do deserve respect, and I hope you'll decide not to go along with any more hate mongering from the capitalist media. We care much more about you than politicians or corporate media does, and that's a fact. Liberals used to understand that the politicians are crooked and the government is corrupt.
The corruption is so penetrating, is so deep, is so broad.
Where did all the liberals from Occupy Wall Street go? And as far as Doge is concerned, Trump and Elon are working together to finally hold the government accountable, and we support that. It's confusing to see liberals be protective of the government. How did that happen? Is this because it's not your guy doing this? The idea that Elon or Trump want to take over the government for their own gain is bunk. That's what the capitalist-owned media wants you to think, just like they wanted you to think it was wise to lock down the entire planet and mandate the jab. That was pure capitalist propaganda, and the hysteria raised in the media about Doge is also pure propaganda. I probably won't be able to convince you to see what an amazing opportunity we have here. I probably won't be able to convince you that if you joined us, it could even be more amazing. Think of it like this. Our country is our home, but our home is in need of some serious repairs and rehab. We have reason to believe that the foundation of our home is in critical disrepair, and right now we need to fix it before our house collapses and the corporations take control of every aspect of our lives. We plan to move forward with these repairs, but I can promise you we would all benefit together. For starters, Doge is seriously considering sending cash money direct to you if they can meet savings targets. In a way, it incentivizes we the people to shine a light on the government waste, fraud, and abuse. It's your money after all, and isn't that a good thing? I understand that you feel that social issues should be the primary focus, but we respectfully disagree at this point in time. Without a strong foundation, we don't have a prosperous, loving home in which we can authentically or effectively solve the social concerns that you have. We're always going to end up being manipulated. But honestly speaking, we have a good reason to believe that the oligarchs are using you to cause chaos in our home by way of what is referred to as a color revolution. And we seek to put a stop to that manipulative agenda and live in peace together with you. It's fine to be concerned, we are as well, but I ask you please be aware of the lies you're being told before jumping to conclusions. And please consider working with us to drain the DC swamp. And in turn, we will work with you to address social issues you feel are important. With love and respect, your neighbor.